Hey y'all, what it do? Cheeky crew. We still working on the intro for now. This is the first video on my channel. I had another one that was gonna come up for 305, but wouldn't load on my YouTube channel. It was the day before the fight, so couldn't publish the pics. But anyways, let's get right into them. So, for starters, on the early prelims, I'm just gonna rush through these because these are some bum fights. The Jordan Dos Santos versus Ozzy Diaz. I'm going with the Jordan Dos Santos round 2 TKO. Ozzy Diaz is a bum. Tuco Tacos of middleweight here. That's who we talking about, right? He's real chinny. I don't trust it, you know? I think if he wins, though, give him a Diaz versus Tricoli Apex co-main event. Real shit right there. Real shit. Great fight. All right. We got Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda coming up next. I'm going with John Castaneda by unanimous decision. 29-28 clinch fest we're talking. Chris Gutierrez is a bum. Chris Gutierrez. And he has a huge grappling weakness. He's getting taken down by short notice Chinese regional scene bums. Like, I don't trust him here. I really don't. Next up, we got Marion Santos versus Francis Marshall. I'm going with Francis Marshall by unanimous decision, 29-28. Marion Santos, he's a good guy. Good fighter, I guess. Maybe, who knows? But he got beaten and TKO'd by Dan Argueta. Huge bum move right there. Marshall, he has a huge grappling advantage and was able to take down guys like William Gomes here, who's a pretty high-level featherweight. And his only two losses are to William Gomes and the Midwest Chopper. What's his name? The Armenian guy. It's slipping my tongue right now. But still, right? Not a good look. All right. Those are the early prelim picks. All right. So for our prelim picks here, to open up the prelim card, we got Alex Morono, the human punching bag, versus Carlos Leal. I'm going with Carlos Leal by a second round KO, a violent flatline one. He looks a little less juicy than he did in his last fight, his debut fight. But personally, I still think he looks great. He still looks ripped. His biceps have fucking biceps. What the fuck is this man on? I would love to know, really. I think most UFC athletes would love to know as well. But Morono is a legitimate bum. He's on, a 3-fight L streak, I believe. Lost to... Was Nico Price's last fight? That was a real bum fight. Hold on. Let me check real quick. I don't know if he's on the 3-fight. No, Daniel Rodriguez, he lost to. Nico Price, he lost to. He lost to Court McGee, in my opinion. He lost to Joaquin Buckley, and he submitted Tim Means. But he was getting outstruck by Tim Means. Before that, he got flatlined by Santiago Ponzinibbio. Here's the thing. When I say Alex Morono is a bum, I don't just mean he's a bum. He's been outstruck in all 6 of his last fights. Leal was schooling Renat Fakhretdinov on the feet. He was stuffing those takedowns easily. There's no way he lost that fight. That was robbery of the entire UFC. That was the worst robbery of all time. There's no debate about it. Not in stakes, but just in how bad a robbery is, that's the worst one. In stakes, it's obviously Dom Reyes versus John Jones. But Carlos Leal, if he is able to stay on those roids at least partially and still is juicy and explosive and shows up how he did against Fakhretdinov for the rest of his UFC fights we're talking, I think he has like top 10, top 5 potential. He is a huge prospect. I won't go as far as to say he's a champ yet, but his ability to roll with punches is beautiful. He was stuffing takedowns from a high-level grappler who beat fucking the Butcher. We're talking here, who beat Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee's a bit of a bum nowadays, but still, he beat a whole bunch of guys, a whole bunch of good guys too, and he out wrestled them mainly. So it's like, you see what I mean? I think as long as he keeps his shape, he will win. That's the simplicity of it, and he will be a great prospect. Now, for the next fight, we got Bruno Ferreira. Sorry, Bruno Fer. Ah, Bruno Ferreira versus Armin Petrosian. Here's the thing about Armin Petrosian. Here's the thing, you guys. Petrosian got put out by Shara with fists. That's chinny behavior. I don't care what you say. Shara is one of the most overrated pillow-handed strikers in the middleweight division. Like, terrible pillow hands. He has great kicks. There's no shame in being put out by his kicks. But, like, Armin Petrosian got put out worse by his hands than Antonio Triccoli. That is real chinny behavior. They both beat RoboCop, but Ferreira chinned him way harder. And Ferreira chinned him harder than Cannonier did here. That's what we're talking about. I think Ferreira's going to finish Armin in the first round pretty easily. Armin has good defense, but it's like, I mean, so did Abus. Abus has great defense in the first round. He's like ranked opposition in the first round. And didn't Ferreira drop him then? I'll check real quick. Hold on. I'm doing this all in one take, so this sucks to do. But no. Bruno lost that first round. He came back in the second. My bad. Still, Bruno Ferreira beats a lot of guys in that first round. Chinned Phil Hawes, lost to Nurse Sultan, beat Gregory Rodriguez there. Gregory Rodriguez was showing pretty good defense against Cannonier. Not like great, but like pretty good. And I think Cannonier is infinitely better than an Armin Petrosian. So it's like, I will pick Bruno Ferreira by first round. KO. It'll be violent. It'll be brutal. All he needs is to be perfect for like maybe 20 seconds in a fight. Armin Petrosian has to be perfect the whole time. And by that logic, I just can't pick him. So for our next fight, we got Joshua Van versus Reyes Aruya. I'll make this one quick. Van is a great prospect. He lacks a lot of power in his punches and a lot of size. But if he just packs on like a bit of muscle, like 5 pounds of muscle, 10 pounds of muscle at most, which is a tall ask. 5 pounds, he's 22. He can pack 5 pounds over like, let's say 2 years, 3 years, maybe even a year if he injects some stuff either way. But that's besides the point. If he packs on a bit of muscle, he could be a future champion, in my opinion. His only issue is his size disadvantage. But Reyes Aruya is also pretty small, and his striking sort of sucks. So if Van should have some actual power against him, and I think he'll just drop him with body shots. He'll defend the takedowns, and he'll drop him with body shots. I'm going Van, second round, body shot, TKO. All right. For this next fight, this is the prelim closer. It is Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev. And hear me out here. Blades is great, but he's a bit chinny. And the issue with most PFL Bellator guys, in my opinion, is their wrestling ain't that good, or their chins ain't that good. It's always one of those two things. Their striking is never terrible, right? Like you look at like a Michael Chandler. He's chinny. He has great wrestling, great striking, great explosivity. But he's chinny. You look at guys like Will Brooks. He came into the UFC. He is the guy who beat Michael Chandler twice back in Bellator and became their champion. He moves to the UFC, goes on a 3-fight loss streak. Do you know why he went on a 3-fight loss streak? It wasn't because he had shit striking. It's because every time he would get taken down and submitted. With that being said, Rizvan Kuniev has great wrestling. So if he has great wrestling and he's schooling these PFL guys on the feet, on the wrestling, he's chinning them and he's testing positive for a cocktail of drugs here as well. I mean, that's great. I trust him. I trust him in the UFC. And I understand that Blades is most likely going to win this fight. But I think Rizvan Kuniev is a great underdog pick. I see nobody else picking him. And I would rather get this pick wrong, but have a chance. Hold on, I'm misphrasing here. I would rather, like, if I get this pick wrong, it's dumb, it ages poorly, but I think Rizvan Kuniev could beat a lot of guys in the top 15. He could definitely be a top 10 heavyweight, and he looked flabby. He looked fat, but he looked like muscular fat, like more muscular fat than Curtis Blades during the weigh-ins today. Like, he looked a lot better than his fucking Dana White Contender Series debut. Let's just say that. And he has good striking, too. That's something we're forgetting. He has great teeps. But either way, I'm picking Kuniev because nobody else will pick him. And if I get that right, that's a great Hail Mary that I just made. And that's great for me. So I'm going with Kuniev by second round TKO. He's going to go to the body with like a teep. Actually, I don't know how he's going to do it. I have... I don't know. He'll probably go to Blade's body and catch him with an uppercut or something. I don't know. I'm just picking Kuniev. All right. Opening up the main card. We got Bobby Queen Green versus Mauricio Rufy. I'm going with Rufy by first round KO. I don't give a shit here. If it goes to the third, maybe Bobby Green could win. Maybe he could finish him. But then again, Rufy only looked crappy in that third in his last performance because he had to cut weight twice. And then this guy he was fighting still weighs in like 12 pounds over. Many more pounds over. And he didn't even have to cut weight at all. Right? That's really unfair on Rufy. And I don't think that's a great example of his cardio. But let's say his cardio is that crappy. Maybe, just maybe, Queen Green could finish him if it goes to the third. But Green is always chinny throughout the rounds. And Rufy's best chance to finish him is that first round. But I could see the second working as well. The issue with Green, he's a great counter striker. He gets in his flow state, all that stuff, and then he starts coming over, right? He starts coming forward afterwards, like he did against I know his name. I can't be blanking out on him right now. Oh my god. Jimmy Miller. That's the one. Yeah. Jim Miller, like he did against Jim Miller here, right? But the game plan on Green is out here. And if he's even in the third round, let's say he's in his flow state, pressuring Mauricio Rufy. All it takes is one nice slip counter for Rufy to finish him brutally. Because Queen Green is chinny. Real chinny. Fuck, sorry I had to pause that. The arm handle popped off my chair. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. The game plan to beat Queen Green is out. Green leaves his hands down, and he's always looking for counters. He's a great counter striker here, but he's real shit on the front foot. against good strikers. He looked shit against Patty. Why did he look shit against Patty? Because Patty just stood back and threw leg kicks. That's why Green came forward and forced himself to shoot a takedown there and got finished. Because he was getting outstruck on the feet by Patty because Patty had that perfect game plan there, right? And the fighting nerds are great game planners. And Mauricio Rufy is obviously a fighting nerd. So they will see that. And they will tell Rufy, hey, just pump the leg kicks, force him to come forward, and then counter. If Rufy just stays on that back foot looking for counters, he will win. This is one of those fights where the guy who is on the front foot is most likely to lose instead of win. That's just the basics of it. All right, I'll just be honest. The second fight on the main card, fucking bum-ass matchup. Shouldn't be on the main card. Curtis Blades should be. This should be on the fucking early prelims here. This is a shit fight. Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. I'll go with Lucindo by unanimous decision. Grapple Fest? I don't know. Lucindo is younger. She's on a good streak. And she looks like she has high testosterone. That's all that matters in WMMA. I don't care here. I don't care about this fight at all. All right? All right. For the next fight, the featured fight of the card, we got Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Now, I made these picks on Thursday before the weigh-ins, before the press conference. Ignacio Bahamondes did not look good on those weigh-ins. Neither did Jalen Turner, but he looked fine for like a 6'3 lightweight. Ignacio Bahamondes looked thick, but he looked like he cut a lot, man. I do think he'll have like a physicality advantage over Jalen Turner. He seems a lot heavier than him. But Turner. Here's the thing. Turner breaks real easy. He's a quitter. He's a quitter at heart. That's why he's 14-8. He has all the skills to be top 5. He has the physique to be top 5. Like, he has everything, but the mentality. His mentality is shit. He has the mentality of a 13-year-old girl going into high school. That's what he fights like. That's his issue. He'll win the first, most likely, and then he'll quit. So I don't think there'll be some huge stamina issue here or whatever for Bahamondes, because even though Turner has more of that stamina experience, he will quit after the first round if shit ain't going his way either way. So the stamina will not matter at all. So even though if I don't like the weight cut for Bahamondes, I'll go with him, right? With that being said, I think I'll go with Bahamondes by second round TKO. As I was saying, Jalen Turner, I can't pick a quitter. I can't rely on a quitter. If you make it out of the first round against him and show some adversity in the second, you're going to win. If you make it past that 1.5 round mark, you're definitely going to win if you're keeping it competitive. Bahamondes is a great fighter and Bilal's student. His only loss is to Ludovic Klein, who is frankly one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC right now, because he is a great fighter and has top-ranked potential. After the Gaethjes and the Poiriers and the Moicanos and Hookers retire, that's the guy who's going to be up there. Ludovic Klein is going to be up there. We're going to have Ludovic Klein, Marvin Sarukian, those sort of guys. Ilya Topuria. Those are our new prospects here. Rebecca, Ziam, those types. Bahamondes himself. That's why I'm picking Bahamondes. Second round TKO. He gets substantially better with every fight. That Manuel Torres fight, perfect counter-striking. Jalen Turner is sort of like Emmanuel Torres in some ways. I'm going with Bahamondes. All right. For the co-main event, 3 rounds, not 5. We got Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Rafael Fiziev is how I like to say. In my opinion, this is a hot take. This is a controversial take. I don't like Gaethje. I don't like Fiziev. I don't care for either of them. They're not my favorites. Like, I get hyped for a Gaethje fight. I get hyped for a Fiziev fight. But, like, I'm not biased towards either of them. I believe Fiziev won that first fight pretty clearly, in all honesty. And people are just blinded by their love for Gaethje here, so they give it to him, right? But Gaethje, here's the thing. He's coming off a huge KO loss, and he's 2 years older than he was in that first fight. His test is going down and down and down and down. His time is running out. He was preparing for a brawler and gets a Muay Thai monster instead. That is not good for him. He was preparing for a guy who keeps his hands down the whole time, just marches forward, great chin. Instead, he's getting a monster, as I said, a monster striker who, yeah, he can brawl. But, like, if he sticks to his Muay Thai basics, he should school Big Rufus over here. Fiziev gassed out from fighting dumb and brawling last time. And he's acknowledged and most likely fixed those issues, right? And if he's improved that cardio, if he's gonna go back to the technical striking with Gaethje instead of falling into the brawls and just getting pumped up by a jab, then, I think Fiziev will win. Fiziev can make more improvements here than Gaethje can, because Gaethje is, one, older, and two, he did about everything he could do to win that last fight. Fiziev made major errors. He brawled with Justin Gaethje and was winning in the brawls. He just fumbled real badly. That's all I can say, right? Now, I don't doubt Fiziev's stamina here, because he's been training hard for a fight with Gamrot that was never signed because Gamrot turned it down on the Saudi Arabia card. And his game plan is likely different too, because, as I said, he has more that he can fix. So I'm going with Rafael Fiziev by second round TKO against Justin Gaethje. All right? He last fight, he was using those uppercuts excellently. He was using that clinch striking excellently. I think he'll have him in the clinch. He'll do a knee to, like, the liver. Gaethje will drop his hands for a moment. He'll hit him with an uppercut, drop him, follow-up shots, boom. Gaethje retires the next fight after. Great for the sport, in all honesty. Now, for the main event, we got Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. I'd like to start this with a call-out. Bomb Time MMA! You are a glazing contrarian here. We all know you started that fucking Chama chant at the Australian press conference or whatever the fuck it was, right? You're just picking Magomed Ankalaev. Big Ank, big meaty hooks here. To win, because you are a contrarian. And here's the thing, you guys. I'm fucking tweaking out, man. I fucking hate the Bedtime Glaze. Love Bedtime as a YouTuber. He's one of my favorite MMA YouTubers, right? He is a bum with his UFC picks. He has one of the lowest UFC picking accuracies at like 53%. That, I could flip a coin and have picks that are just as good as him here, right? You have to be like shit at picks to have barely over a 50% chance. That's all I'm saying, right? And he doesn't acknowledge anything about this matchup. He's just like, oh, it's because Magomed Ankalaev is much better of a wrestler than Alex is a striker or whatever, yada, yada, yada. That's bullshit, and I'll tell you why. But first, you guys, let me tell you something. 2 nights ago, Wednesday to Thursday night, I had a dream. I was watching UFC 313. The main event came on. I was having a 13-hour sleep. It was very nice. I had pulled an all-nighter the night before. I had a dream about UFC 313. It was the main event. the fight was competitive. Ankalaev was scoring some takedowns. Pereira was getting up from them. And in the third round, they were striking. Pereira was pumping the leg kick. Ankalaev comes forward. He's forced to come forward. And Pereira drops him with a short left. Ank panic shot. And Pereira puts him out cold with elbows to the temples, sort of like the Yuri fight. I dreamt of this. This fight has me stressing so much, and everyone stressing so much, that I am dreaming of this fucking shit. I am having prophecies. Like, what the fuck is happening with this shit? Now, back to the actual, like, stats and not just my fucking, it came to me in a dream pick. Ank struggled to take down Jan Blachowicz here, right? And he has very telegraphed doubled and single legs. If you look at his tape, very telegraphed. Most his takedowns come from slams and trips. And Alex is a big dude. He's very physical, very strong. It's hard to take him down with trips. It's hard to take him down. Yeah, it's hard to take him down with, like, slams. With trips, maybe. But that requires, like, a lot of work in the clinch there. He won't take Alex Pereira down with a double leg. And the most ways Alex has been taken down, like, for example, against Jan Blachowicz, he got taken down with a single leg. Not a trip, not a slam, a single leg. The thing that Ankalaev does worst. He, like, grabs your legs and just holds tits to knee here, nipples to knee, for, like, fucking 3 minutes we're talking. Not 3 minutes, but he holds them there for, like, 5 seconds, giving you all that time to react. And Alex is much bigger than him. When you're the bigger guy, you have more reaction time in wrestling. That's just a basic fact. So he will have time to react to those shitty singles. And if he does that right, he'll be able to stuff them pretty easily. Now, Pereira, on his side, he's a great fighter, and he only gets better through the rounds. We saw it against Izzy. We saw it against Yuri. We saw it against Jan. We saw it against Khalil. His style is perfect. Khalil didn't gas out. Jan didn't gas out. Jan gassed out, but Khalil didn't. And Jan only partially gassed out. And you know what really made it seem like they were gassed out? That both of them have come out and said it wasn't that they were tired. It was the accumulation of damage. Those jabs catch up. Those leg kicks catch up. Eat enough of those leg kicks, you're done. You're done for here, right? As long as Alex avoids compromising positions, which I trust he will. He's been training with Glover Teixeira, who, if he stayed a little longer, he would have been the real nightmare matchup for Alex in that division. By the way, that's besides the point. He should win if he just avoids those compromising positions. He could even turtle. I don't see Ankalaev submitting him. The only way Ankalaev finishes him on the ground is with some ground and pound. Turtling, he won't be able to slip into hooks, get the submission. That's just a basic fact. And Alex got up against Jan. He got up against Yuri. Both good grapplers. Yuri submitted Teixeira. Jan is a great grappler on the offensive. When you put him on his back, he fucking sucks ass. But on the offensive, great grappler here. Hold on. Jan, if I remember correctly, let me see. Jan submitted Nikita Krylov with an arm triangle. He out-wrestled Nikita Krylov for 5 minutes in their fight and submitted him. All right? He out-wrestled Jared Cannonier. He out-wrestled Jimmy Manoa. He out-wrestled all these guys. The only guy to really out-wrestle Jan was Alexander Gustafsson and Ankalaev, right? And those two guys put him on his back. So to get up from one of Jan's takedowns, to defend his takedowns is great work. If even Jared Cannonier struggled with it here, right? Oh, Thiago Santos also took Jan down too, which shows how shit he is off his back, right? He couldn't get up from that shit. But either way, Jan is great. He was taking down even Yuri. Not Yuri, Izzy. My fault. They haven't fought yet. So you see what I'm talking about, right? Shit off his back, which is why Ankalaev schooled him there. But when he's taking a guy down, he's great on the front foot. He's great with the takedowns. And Alex Pereira got him so gassed out because he made Jan carry his weight. He made Jan carry himself on Alex's back. That'll gas anyone out. That's why Khamzat Chimaev gasses out. Because he has to carry himself on all these guys. When you're carrying yourself, you're bound to gas out chasing that finish there. All right? Now, there's the Izzy fight, which shows Pereira, shit grappling, whatever. That was years ago. That doesn't matter to me, in my opinion. Because here's the thing. When you're a fighter who hasn't been grappling professionally for that long, who hasn't been training MMA for that long, those few years can mean major developments, in my opinion. Ankalaev hasn't been developing much in the time since the Izzy fight to now, as Pereira has. That's just a basic fact, a simple fact, because Ank has been training his whole life, right? Sorry, I had to take a sip of water there. So the likelihood of him just evolving even more so than just training for one fight, unlikely. Couldn't even take down Rakic, but we won't talk about that. The likelihood of Pereira improving so much in such a small time span, very likely. All right? Now, back to Ank's weaknesses. I believe Alex is far better on the feet than Ankalaev. Ankalaev has terrible leg kick defense, and he's shit on the front foot. He is a counter boxer. You come forward at him, he'll slip your jabs. Not even slip your jabs. You come forward at him, he'll counter. That's what he does. If you look at the Jan fight, Jan just stayed on the back foot, pumped the leg kick the whole time, and jabbed him. That's all Jan did. And that's how he won the first 3 rounds, right? Now, Jan has shit cardio, which is why he lost the last 2. Fuck Jan for that. Ugh. But that don't matter. Either way. So, hold on. I'm tweaking. Let me lock in. Lost my way there. Yeah. So as long as Alex stays on the back foot, pumps the jab, pumps the leg kick, stuffs the takedowns, hopefully, he will likely beat Ankalaev on the feet. Ankalaev has to set up the takedowns with the striking, which means he has to be on the feet with Alex for a long periods of time. That is very dangerous for him. That is very dangerous. He can't just shoot a takedown in the first 5 seconds. Alex would fucking knee him in the temple immediately if he made that level change. Like, there's no doubt about it. So, and again, if Ankalaev has to go on the front foot, overextends, Alex is catching him with that counter. Ankalaev has a huge weakness where he has a tendency to leave his rear hand down when striking. That leaves him really open to Alex Pereira's left hook. Insanely open, in fact. He will get caught by that left hook. If he's coming forward, he will eventually get caught by it. That's just a basic fact. Like, if he's on that front foot, he gets caught like Yuri did. And that's the end of it. I'm going with Pereira by 3rd round TKO. If Ankalaev wins this, it's either a decision or a TKO. I don't see him submitting Alex, and I don't think he out-wrestles him horribly. I think it's more the level change that we have to worry about with it affecting the striking than anything else, in all honesty. Yeah. Sorry if this shit was a bit awkward, guys. First YouTube video, as I said. Yeah. I don't got a mic right now. I'm using my dad's Chromebook here. Yeah. Only fucking 17 years of age. First YouTube video. I'll work on it. I'd really appreciate it if you all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, boost it in the algorithm. I won't, like, you know what I mean. I would really appreciate it. I'm just a kid trying to, like, get his, like, rants out on the internet because I don't got nobody else to talk to about this shit. But yeah, I'd really appreciate it if y'all did that for me. Thank you. Bum time? I didn't mean none of the shit I said. I'm lying. I meant all of it. I do think you're picking Hank Alive to be a contrarian. So if you see this, love you to death. You're the greatest matchmaker on YouTube, usually. But stop being a contrarian, man. Up your pick game here. Left Lane is killing you in these picks. He's the better Australian MMA channel right now. You're losing to him. You're losing to Left Lane here. How can you be losing to Left Lane? You're losing to a 17-year-old. Oh my God. But yeah, thank you all for watching to this point, watching my video to this point. Sorry for the low quality. Sorry for the shit editing. I've never done anything media related before in my life. I try to avoid a lot of this technological stuff because I would rather do other shit, right? I would rather be boxing. I would rather be wrestling. I'd rather be playing my electric guitar. Hell yeah! Yeah. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, y'all. And next video will be 10 times better, I promise.